When life breaks you, it can feel like there is no hope for tomorrow, that the situation, your circumstances have knocked you out for the count. This is what it feels like when life breaks us. I'm not sure about your life, but I can tell you my own life. I feel like I've been broken many times. I feel like I've gone through many deaths in my life. To be really honest with you, I just came out of a season of this. It was about a year and a half of just feeling like I was being broken and broken and broken and broken and broken. And this has happened more times than I care to admit. And I'm going to share a personal story with you where I just thought, there's no coming out of this. A very heavy, dark situation that myself and my family went through. And by God's grace, we came out on the other side. And sometimes we need to hear these stories. Why? Because when we're in the dark, we need to know that there is light, that we can come out on the other side, that other people who have been through darkness, that when life has broken them, how did they come out of it? How did they see the light? And was there a life after that? When life has broken you and you feel down for the count, is there life after that? And can life be good again? Can life be sweet again? And sometimes it's just hearing that someone else has been through it gives us hope, gives us the courage to keep going. I'll never forget, I remember I used to watch a lot of Christian TV, and I remember watching T.D. Jakes, whom I've met in person before. Oh my God, the nicest guy, like a teddy bear. I've never met such a merciful person, just such a gentle strength to this man. But I remember him saying that when you're getting beat up by life, when life is breaking you, I remember him saying, he said, I want to imitate him. He says, you get in the ring. And he's like, you're in the ring with the devil. You're like, devil, one more round. One more round. When life breaks you, you almost feel like you can't go that other round. And I want to tell you something about yourself that you may not know, babe. You are way stronger than you realize. You're so much more resilient than you're giving yourself credit for. Right now, you may feel like you have no strength left because life has broken you. And you feel like you will never have the courage to live again, to enjoy life again, to taste the sweetness of life seems so far outside of your realm that even to hear that saying of one more round, you're just like, there's no way possible. I'm gonna share this story and I hope that you get encouraged by it. I hope that you see that you are more resilient than you realize. You're more courageous. You're more strong than you think. I'm gonna tell you this story, and I hope that through some of this that you can see where you are and then tell you about the beauty, the promises of tomorrow. You know, it's like the sun will come out tomorrow. And like I said, I just came out of this year and a half kind of death season. And indeed the sun did come out again, thank God. I want to tell you about a very specific time in my life. 2010, going through a death, went through a breakup, found myself feeling like I was homeless, was working 2 jobs, had no money in the bank. I mean, I was literally just down to nothing. And it was one of the many difficult times in my life. And it really felt like life broke me. I was like, oh, when life breaks you, yeah, this is it. I came through it and ended up getting into a very sweet spot in my life where I was surrounded by friends. I was having the time of my life. And then in 2010, I got the call. It was 7:30 in the morning. I was in California. And I have 2 sisters and a brother. And one of my sisters called me and she said, Sarah's been in a really bad accident. This is my baby sister. And I said, well, how bad is it? And she said she's been brought to the emergency room. They're doing emergency surgery on her. And she said, Arica, they don't know if she's gonna make it. I booked a flight that day. I got in that night to Texas, where my family is. I walked into the SICU, Surgery Intensive Care Unit, and no one could have ever prepared me for what my eyes were gonna see. I saw my baby sister hooked up with more monitors and tubes and wires than I've ever seen on a person, with 2 metal rods coming outside of her hips to hold her hips in place. She'd broken her pelvis. She had so much brain damage that the nurse asked me not to speak to my sister, because if she heard my voice, it could stimulate her brain and cause permanent brain trauma. I walked out of there. I thought I was gonna throw up. I went to the bathroom floor. My family gathered around me, and I began to punch the concrete floor, screaming, yelling at God, why? And my entire family just hovered over me. And that night, my parents slept at the emergency room. I slept on my parents' couch at their home. And I remember waking up the next day and going, oh my God, that was the worst nightmare I've ever had. That was horrific. I remember waking up and I was sleeping on their couch, and I looked to the side and I saw the pattern on my parents' couch. And I looked and I realized I'm in Texas, I'm on my parents' couch, and this is not a nightmare, this is real. This is when life really broke me. For the next 2 months, we didn't know if my sister was gonna live or die. They didn't know where to operate on her, because if they operated on one thing, it would cause another thing. She had so many punctures, and it was unreal what she went through. There are times that, I'll be honest with you, that I just said, I can't take this, I can't do this. And I thought about taking my life. And talking to other family members later on, I learned that they also felt the same way. I remember watching the agony and the pain and the anguish that my mother was going through, that my father was going through. And my sister has a daughter, and she was 1 year old. And I saw all the pain that my family was going through. And I said, Arica, you can't be this selfish. You can't take your life, because what it would do to your family. And little did I know that each of us was feeling the same way, and that we chose not to do that because of our love for one another. And I didn't know how else to survive, how to live, because the pain was so unbearable, so unbearable. And my family, we came together and we supported each other. Yeah, there were times that we wanted to kill each other because it was such an intense situation. But our love for one another, our love for God, our love for ourselves got us through that season. Right now, my family is just so blessed. My sister is still alive. She does live in a nursing home. She still has not spoken. But she has a daughter who's about to go into high school now, and she gets to see this daughter, and we get to see my sister smile, and we get to see her laugh, and we get to see her cry. And all of our lives are so blessed. My parents just moved into a massive home. If you looked at every single one of our lives, I live in the south of France. My brother is thriving, my sisters, everyone's thriving. But if you had told us, and we're talking about when life breaks you, if you had told us back in 2010 that one day that we were all gonna be in a much beautiful place, I would have said no way. And darling, I share this with you. I know it's a heavy story, but I share this with you and I say, you will get through this. Right now, you may only have the courage to face one step at a time. It may be one day at a time. It may be one breath at a time. When life breaks you, Know that there is a resiliency and there's a strength on the inside of you that you're not giving yourself credit for. It's there, and it's there to support you. And that strength that you carry on the inside is ready to step up and shine for you and to be there for you when you feel like you can't go on. Know that in this moment, it may feel like there's no hope, but the beauty is that there is hope, and there's always tomorrow. And life does turn around. Life goes through seasons, as I am experiencing, where sometimes it's a winter season and sometimes it's summer. And you may be in a winter season right now, and I say, darling, just like the sun comes out, your summer will come. And the most important thing I can encourage you, when life breaks you, cling to the people that love you. Let them be there for you. Let them support you. Share your vulnerabilities, share your insecurities. Take care of yourself. Do what you can to soothe yourself, whether it's holding yourself, whether it's listening to music, spending tons of time in nature, listening to affirmations to rebuild your subconscious so that your subconscious feels supported to get you through this. I want to tell you, when life breaks you, it's not the end. Know that. That is your promise. It is not the end. The summer is going to come. It's around the corner, one step at a time. Freedom is going to be there. Joy is going to be there. Love's going to be there. Safety is going to be there. Security is going to be there. Hope is going to be there. It's all coming. It may be just around the corner. Just one more step. Just like that T.D. Jakes message. One more round, devil. One more round. Give me one more round. And sometimes when life breaks you, it's having that stance of just one more round. You'd be surprised how strong you are. And I'm just here to remind you of that. If you need more support, I have that free course, Become the Damn Hero of Your Life. Make sure you like this video as well. Let me know that this resonated. In the comments, I want to hear where you're at. I would love to hear your story. Know that there is support for you. Know that you're supported. Know that you're not alone. And know that the summer does come out. I would love for you to subscribe, and maybe you know somebody else who's going through the exact same thing, that they need the grace of this message. I mean, if you hear a story like what I shared with you about my sister and you go, if that family can pull through that, anything is possible. Say, with God, all things are possible. The strength and the courage that you have inside of you, all things are possible, my darling. All things are possible. When life breaks you, it's not the end. It's just a season, and the sun will come out tomorrow. I love you so much. Know that you're loved. Know that you're seen, and that your journey and your story really matters. Subscribe so that you can get more of my videos to love, support, and encourage you. Become the damn hero of your own life. Love you so much.